Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Club Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Monday, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to yet another Liverpool news episode for you guys this evening. It is early, I will say that. It is, but I say it's early. It's also me being late, as per usual. But hopefully, everyone is all good and all well in the comments down below as well. And I've already seen. Hello, George. It's 7 o'clock, and what phase is short version? Phase 4. I'll go with phase 4 for now as well. And also phase about to get sacked at the end of the season. That's what I'll go for. Anyway, but how are we all, chat? Anyway, of course, obviously tonight's episode we're going to quickly talk on news, obviously about Milos Kerkez, and that's going to be the main focus of tonight's show. Of course, Fabrizio Romano has come out and again a report that's came out over the last couple of hours, suggesting that Liverpool might not actually be going for him as well. And of course, we'll get your guys' thoughts about it in the comment section down below as well. But again, let me know all of you are in comments. God's sake, Luke, go away. What phase is for Fabrizio Romano? Can I wait there? Let me time ban people. Can I time ban people from Bayer? Probably not. I can perm ban people, but I can't temp ban, unfortunately. Anyway, but that would be pleasing. Anyway, but God's sake, Luke. Anyway, but that's what we're mainly going to be talking about in today's episode. Anyway, but again, feeling high, of course, on Liverpool beating West Ham last night. Again, look, I think we said it all last night, didn't we? The fact that even now tonight, again, Liverpool could be comfortably clear if Chelsea lose to Ipswich as well. I think even Arsenal play tomorrow as well against Brentford. So again, Liverpool could be 8 points clear if results goes our way. Of course, at the top of the league, but again, I fully expect Chelsea to beat Ipswich, and I fully expect Arsenal to beat Brentford as well, because I think Brentford at the moment are going through an injury crisis themselves. So again, I fully expect Arsenal and Chelsea to pick up the points. But I think when you do think about it, the fact that Liverpool, again, we've got our games coming up thick and fast, and Man United next week, I do think, I fully expect Liverpool to beat Man United next week. But again, we need to keep the tempo going as well, which is the main important thing. Anyway, I know obviously Luke and so on as well, probably thinking about what phase are Arne Slot in right now as well, to be fair. Anyway, but we will get into the Milos Kerkez news anyway for you guys, because again, it won't be a long show. It will be about 15-20 minute show for you guys tonight anyway. But of course, Fabrizio Romano has had his say on the Milos Kerkez situation. Now, you guys can see on the screen right now, there we go. So, according to Fabrizio Romano, as you can see, but there, obviously, he did put out a report saying that both Manchester United and Liverpool are monitoring Kerkez, but my information is that Liverpool always prefer to go for a different profile and different kind of player. And of course, we did also want to say, but there, in terms of saying Liverpool are not desperate to sign Milos Kerkez, they prefer a different type of profile for a left back. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, because I know there's been, of course, plenty of debate on social media in terms of, again, what does this mean in terms of who Liverpool are going to go for. I think obviously Kerkez is somebody who, if we wanted an out-and-out Robbo replacement, I think he's perfect for that, in terms of, again, high tempo, can definitely be a replica of Andy Robertson if we wanted that. But it does feel, with the reporting that's going around, that Liverpool are looking more of a maybe defensive-minded left back, or a left back that can phase into the third centre back position and create that back three with, of course, Trent inverting in the right back position. So for me, I do think that, look, there are plenty of names out there that Liverpool could definitely go for. I think obviously the big one over the last couple of weeks that have been mentioned, of course, is Ajax's Hato as well. He can play centre back, he can play left back throughout the season. Obviously Luke Jaber as well is also a viable option. Again, you could easily go and get, of course, somebody who Arne Slot knows all too well in David Hanko. But again, I don't think Liverpool will be going after him at all next summer. But in also saying that, I think that is the type of profile we are looking for. If the Kerkez one isn't what Liverpool are mainly pushing for, then I do think somebody like Lukeba or even a Hato, it screams a perfect on a slot left back in that sense. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised, to be fair. Obviously we won't know now because of course Joe Gomez is injured, but I wonder whether or not, if maybe there was some injuries at left back, would we see a Joe Gomez play at left back, and we would go more into that back three this season. But I do think like now we are starting to get what Arne Slot wants, and we're getting that type of idea that what he does want. But look, again, I'm not too obviously Luke Aber I know a lot more of than Hato. Of course, Hato again plays for Ajax, and I know he's very much highly rated. But I think with Luke Aber, I think last season, I think everybody was going on about him towards the back end of the transfer window. I think even Real Madrid have also put their eyes on him as well for the future. So I do think he has a £60 million release clause. I think Hato as well also has something like that in terms of his contract as well. So it will be interesting to see whether or not, of course, Liverpool do go for that type of left back. I know that there was reports as well about Alphonso Davies as well, which again makes sense, a free transfer. Theoretically, of course, obviously we know that if anyone's going to go after Alphonso Davies, it's going to be heavily based on terms of signing bonus and obviously contract fee and so on as well. I don't think that it's a viable option for Liverpool, really. I do think Liverpool are going to go more into this left back position, in terms of it being that third centre back. But again, we could be pleasantly surprised. It could be the fact the club are just downplaying it right now. But still, again, Hanko, if we want it, not Hanko, sorry, with Kerkez, if we want a long-term Andy Robertson replacement, he's the guy you can go for. Obviously, he does say in that report, you can see that on the bottom, but they, in terms of, again, both Manchester United and Liverpool, and of course, Manchester United have been mentioned heavily with Kerkez as of lately. Anyway, I do think he might well go to United. Obviously under Ruben Amorim would be that left wing back that again they're currently going with as well. But I do think, as Zaina said today as well, I think Hato would be a long-term centre-back signing. I also feel that as well. I don't think overly. I don't think he's a full-back. But again, I've not watched him. I've seen people rave about him and say that this guy is for the future. But just doing a quick research on him again, the majority of the season he's played at left back. So again, we'd have to wait and see in that regard anyway. But I do think if we're going to mold more into this possession style, three at the back, kind of like what Manchester City have done over the years, again, I think Liverpool obviously will go for a player like that. I'm just trying to quickly look at his statistics now for you guys, but I do think it is basically on that lines again. Obviously 18-year-old left-footed as well, current market value at 25 million pounds as well. But again, looking at the Eredivisie statistics for him, 15 games started, 15 games played, 14 of those started, gets 84 minutes per game, got 2 goals, 4 assists so far in the Eredivisie as well. Again, I think and when you look at his heat map, again, it is heavily left back orientated. Again, it's not so much centre back, but I think when you look at his stature, maybe he might be moved to a centre back role. But I think that's the type of player Liverpool have needed for quite some time. In terms of, again, we've needed somebody who can play as a left back, but also potentially be a Virgil van Dijk replacement, and of course, obviously Dutch, which is great for Hato, but I think also it's probably a topic for Liverpool where, again, since we've been playing this more possession-based, controlling football, we've needed somebody like that. We've not really had it. We've said it for quite a while, haven't we? to be fair. But James says, but I think he suits United more, to be honest. I think a lot of people have also had that same thought process that he again, Kerkez is more of a United player. I think he is a United fan. To be fair, I did say at the time, I thought, I think last week we mentioned it, didn't we? That for me, the three left backs to go and get for Liverpool was Alphonso Davies, obviously Milos Kerkez, and Anthony Robinson. But it feels like now that Liverpool are not going in that direction of left back, we are going more of the Hato and Lukeba region as well, which again, I think overall Liverpool doing that, to be fair, I think again we might see more of the inverted role and see more of Arne Slot's type of style, like at Vinod, where again they were inverting the right back and again having the overload in midfield in terms of that box formation as well. We've seen a bit of it this season, but not so much because of course we've played more of a 4-2-3-1 or kind of pushed either Curtis Jones or McAllister a bit further up, and we've been playing the three in midfield. I think that'll be interesting to see maybe next season the development of this Liverpool team. I think again, when we talk about phases, for example, I think Liverpool evolving from what we've already got, I think that is probably the next step of what we want to do overall anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts and let me know what left back you would want, because I think that there are plenty out there that Liverpool could definitely go for. And like I said, I've only mentioned two in terms of Hato and Lukeba. There's probably definitely another, the 3 or 4 players that you could definitely go and get. I know obviously people will still go on to say like, oh, Liverpool should go after Anthony Robinson or should go after Alphonso Davies. Look, if the money situation wasn't a problem in terms of the contracts, like again, it's reported Alphonso Davies wants around £300,000 per week, which look, at the minute we can't even sign Trent, Salah and Van Dijk to new contracts. That's a problem. That's a real problem in being able to do that anyway, of course. But overall, I do think, look, Liverpool will hopefully sign the right players and hopefully get these contracts sorted as well, because I will get up on the show anyway. But of course, if anybody didn't see, if I can quickly find it, obviously Lewis Steele did come out with a report as well, which did cause a lot of drama on social media. Where is it by? There it is. So if you guys can see that right now anyway, from Lewis Steele saying that of the 3 contract renewals, academy graduate Alexander-Arnold seems closest to an exit, but Salah has laid down ultimatums before and may well not. Obviously, the club may not go for obviously Van Dijk's wage demands neither. But obviously, that first line, but there we know, but it turned around and says out of the 3, academy graduate Alexander-Arnold seems closest to leaving. Which, to be fair, I did have this slide up preparing again trend silence reports because of the celebration. But a lot of people did point out last night on social media that Jude Bellingham also did the same type of celebration when I think it was an important game for Dortmund, and obviously it was reported that he had already agreed to join Real Madrid, and of course he did the same type of celebration, which again a few people have gone, oh well, does Trent mean that he's all the noise is nothing and he's staying at Liverpool, or whether or not is he going and doing the exact same as what Jude Bellingham did? And I think for me, I think look, Salah and Van Dijk, we know they want to stay, and we do. We know that both of them have been very open in terms of wanting to stay at the football club and extend their time at Liverpool. But with Trent, we've not heard anything good, come out. Again, we know Trent's very private. We know he wants to do everything behind the scenes. He doesn't want to be, again, saying similar to like what Mo has done, in the mix zone and go on. Yeah, no, I've not had a new contract. I'm more out than I am in, and kind of put the pressure on Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards and FSG in that sense. But I think at the minute, I've said this plenty of times, if all 3 of them don't re-sign, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards should get sacked, and I've said that throughout the last couple of weeks and months. That for me, these, like the fact that we are still going into January and there's no new contracts, signings look like they're going to happen now in the summer. It doesn't look like Liverpool are going to sign anyone in January. It does look like it will be a quiet month for us, but there just seems to be no progress with anyone, and I know that there's been reports of obviously Ibu getting a new contract, and I think there's even one going around as well for other players as well. But I think all of us now want at least one of the big three done. When we're talking about Salah, Van Dijk, Trent, we want one of them done. And of course, in 2 or 3 days, they can go on to speak to obviously foreign teams. We definitely know that Trent will be speaking to Real Madrid, or Real Madrid will be trying to speak to Trent Alexander-Arnold. But again, I think the majority of everyone's feelings is Salah and Van Dijk, I think, are pretty much guaranteed to stay at Liverpool now. It is all about Trent. I think everyone is under the same cautious ideas that the fact that he could leave Liverpool now on a free transfer to go to Madrid, and that's a scary thought. The fact that I don't think many people realize, like, again, yesterday, Trent didn't have his best game for Liverpool. Like, defensively, I thought he switched off when Liverpool went 3-0 up, but also I think that Liverpool, it was in the second half where he just passes it to Mo Salah, but it's the most outrageous pass going. That is the quality of Trent. And you see the best out of him. And I feel like if Liverpool were to lose Trent, again, that would be such a devastating blow to not only, again, obviously, I've already spoke about the legacy talk in terms of Trent and so on and that, but Liverpool lose one of our world-class players. Again, I think Liverpool have 5, maybe 6 world-class players. Again, Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, Trent is one of them. I think Alexis McAllister is also in that bracket at the moment because, again, he is one of the best midfielders in Europe, I would say, right now. I think he's definitely top 3 or top 5. But again, you're going to lose one of your dangerous weapons in that regard for free, and that's damaging, and the fact that, again, also in that Lewis Steele report, they mentioned Jeremy Frimpong. Again, is Jeremy Frimpong going to come in and recreate what Trent does? No, there won't be anybody that can do that. But I also feel like, if Trent is going to go, what's the plan? Is the plan to promote Conor Bradley and have him as the number 1 right back, or is it to have someone else come in and Conor Bradley be the backup for him? I think that's another question that needs to be asked, because at the moment, Liverpool, I think, have got a pretty good balance in terms of, again, everybody knows Trent will start in right back, but if Trent's not available, you've got a really, really good right back in Conor Bradley there. But I think, again, you look on the market, it's not really great quality for right backs out there at the minute. I think, I've said it, that I think Liverpool should look, if Trent goes, for the Monaco right back. I think he's a decent option, but still, is it going to get anywhere near Trent's level? No, of course not. Trent for me is the best right back in world football. But again, that's a whole other debate and argument sake anyway. But look, I think everybody now is just getting at the point where we're all frustrated with no news, and the longer it goes, like, again, if we hear in a month's time and there's still no contract news in terms of Trent, Salah, Van Dijk, I think everyone will start to get worried, because at that point, when, again, I think Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes has been very fortunate in the fact that Mo and Virgil have basically turned around and gone, yeah, we want to stay at the football club. We want to be able to continue on. But I now look at it and go, at what point did they turn around and go, oh, you know what, we'll go and look elsewhere. We'll go and have a look. We'll go and look at a Barcelona. We'll go and have a look at a Real Madrid. And we'll move on ourselves. At what point does that get reached? And that's the big worry. But again, that's something for the future anyway. And that's just, again, my opinion on it anyway. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. And a big thank you to everyone for tuning in to tonight's show. It was just mainly talking about Kerkez as well, obviously not being the guy for Liverpool. As I take off the banner. Look, obviously early show, so I do apologize for that, and apologies for being late as well anyway. But if you guys, again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on who you think Liverpool will sign in the summer or the January transfer window. I think the left back now situation, I think we are looking at Hato or Lukeba. But again, I would be intrigued to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, but of course, Liverpool, obviously Man United throughout the weeks, we'll have plenty of videos going on for that as well. Any videos tomorrow as well we'll have for you guys. But of course, I think Newcastle and Man United are on now in a moment anyway. So again, we'll be live and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. Anyway, but I've been Connor from the Cup Council. I see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.